Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to episode 19 of Kenya's Market Map. Thank you so much for joining us. We're coming to you from Nairobi. This is Kenya's capital, East Africa. Thank you so much for joining us today, once again. And today we have a lot that is packed here. Just to begin, I'm your host for today, Keegan Kiplimo, and let Easter introduce himself first, then we'll go to this.
Okay, because this is a special one, yeah? You're seeing a new face. But anyway, before I let Keegan get into that, I'm your co-host for today, Easter Fanning.
Yeah, so we have a gentleman here. He's sitting in for Dan Kalia. Dan is away for this week. Just introduce yourself. I don't think I can do honors to your introduction.
Okay. Asante sana. It's good to be here. It's actually my first time doing a business podcast.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
This sounds almost too serious.
It's never that serious.
Finance, investments, business news,
Yeah.
I'm glad to be here.
Yeah.
When you guys started, I think it was around August
Yeah,
last year.
August last year.
Yeah.
I was among the first few listeners on your business podcast.
Wow, thank you. You're
Congrats,
one of our biggest supporters. We have to...
Yeah, so what you guys have done is really impressive, really impressive, and I'm glid to be here.
Thank you.
Yeah,
It's quite some validation there.
Yeah, my name is Boni Oyunge. So I work with Mwango Capital. So if you've seen a lot of our work.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm part of the team.
we've given a lot of shout outs to Mwango Capital in this podcast. So probably you can just tell our viewers and listeners, a bit about what Mwango Capital does and where they can find you guys.
Okay. Mwango Capital does a lot of capital markets, especially focused on Africa.
Yeah.
East Africa mostly.
Yeah.
So we are looking to drive conversations on African capital markets.
Yeah.
So we almost like have two arms. We have a research arm,
Yeah.
where we look to do a lot of content around African capital markets, East Africa,
Yeah.
Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania. We also have a Twitter Spaces arm,
Wow.
where we look to hold conversations, not just around capital markets, but just salient conversations happening during the week or from time to time.
And I have to say, thank you so much, Mwango Capital, because they've always given, Kenya's Market Map a chance to always ask questions and contribute to the to the spaces.
Yeah.
And so, Mwango Capital, that's what they do. Actually, they had a space this week where they featured the CEO of Cyton, that is Edwin Dande. So that episode, for those who missed that Twitter space, there'll be a recording that will be coming out.
Yeah, there'll be a recording in about roughly 2 weeks.
Oh, great.
It should be out, yeah.
So probably you can mention to our listeners and viewers the Twitter handle of Mwango where they can find.
You can find us predominantly on Twitter.
Yeah.
At Mwango Capital. So we look to do a lot of content on business, finance, and investments. We also have a weekly newsletter that goes out every Sunday that looks to summarize what's happened in the business and investment segment of the market. So you can look out for that tomorrow. We also have a recently new product, business news in memes.
Wow.
Yeah,
I've seen that. That's a good one. I love it.
Yeah, business news in memes, which will be dropping out today.
Yeah.
It's being done by one of our good
give a shout out.
meme lords. Becky
the meme lord.
Becky the meme lord is the one who does.
The meme lady for this matter.
Business news in memes. Yeah.
Fantastic.
So basically, we just look to take business news and make it simplified for the average person
and interesting.
Yeah. And, it's been getting a lot of traction.
Yeah, it's been really good. Great. So they can find you on Twitter?
Yeah, you can find us on Twitter at Mwango Capital.
And your personal handle?
At Mwango Analyst on Twitter.
Fantastic.
That's you?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Boni.
Okay. Maybe to give more clarity to our viewers, when you mentioned today, next week, in the next 2 weeks, when you're expecting the recording, we are recording on the 29th of January. Yeah, so maybe that information can help you expect that's in relation to when the episode is going to be.
They can backpedal. These guys are mathematicians. So thank you so much, Bonnie, for joining us today. And let me just mention that the seat you're sitting on, the person who normally sits there is one of the biggest conspiracy theorists in this country. So you might as well join the band. So just to begin, as always, we start with our highlights, our weekly highlights. Esther, what's your highlight for the week?
Wow, you threw me right in. So my highlight this week has been the announcement from the a few embassies, and among them the United States Embassy, that is warning to the, should I call it a warning? But it's some information about impending terror attacks in Nairobi, and so they're trying to issue a warning to their citizens, and really just generally the general population to desist from getting into crowded areas, particularly those frequented by foreign nationals. So such things, the time we experienced this, such, such terror attacks and threats, was back in 2017, 2013 a bit. Right?
Yeah, I think the latest one being the Dusit attack. That was in Nairobi, but you know, we've been having some in Lamu County, unfortunately.
Yeah. So I'm quite worried about how that would, the effect of that, with in addition to the fact that we are getting into an electioneering period. So you can imagine the effect on the business community and economic effects of that. Yeah. So I don't know what might happen, because as I was coming, I just passed through Serena Hotel, and you can see they're taking up measures.
Oh, okay.
So it's serious. Yeah. So I don't know about the. Ordinarily during electioneering periods, there's a lot of capital flights, because from the capital markets by European investors, and we've talked about this.
Sure,
70%, over 70% of investments in the NSE is by foreign institutions.
Yeah, right? Foreigners.
So you can imagine if just by it being an electioneering period, guys flee away because of the uncertainties.
And then now you add that.
Exactly.
So, makes it even worse.
I'm really waiting to see how this will pan out, hoping for the best.
Absolutely. Bonnie, what stood out for you this week?
For me, of course, I think it has to be EABL.
Yeah.
Definitely has to be EABL. A strong half-year performance.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for the period ended 31st December 2021.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to get into more details.
We're going to get into detail into that. Wow.
Yeah, so I think another thing that stood out for me, we've also had another profit warning this year.
Liberty.
Yeah, actually this month. This month alone, we've had about four profit warnings. The latest being Liberty Kenya Holdings. Yeah.
So things aren't really looking good there for holding that counter.
For my prediction, I think we will definitely have a bit more.
Yeah. Do you hold the Liberty counter?
No.
Okay. For me, what stood out for me this week is definitely the issue that was raised by Business Daily, must have been Wednesday, if not Thursday, that in October of 2021, President Kenyatta came out and said that they are going to review and increase the 1 million cap in transactions where you're supposed to unravel, to give more details, to the transaction that you're making in a bank, if you're transacting more than 1 million Kenyan shillings. So they said, President Kenyatta said that they're going to raise they're going to do away with the 1 million cap and raise it, because businesses are having challenges, because at the end of the day, in business terms, $10,000 is merely nothing. I mean, in terms of the size of transactions.
What's the new cap?
So now the thing is, since October last year, 3 months, we are in January, we haven't gotten any information on that. The CBK hasn't raised the cap, it's still there, nothing has been done. So we are asking the question of, hey man, what is happening? You're supposed to do this 3 months ago. And I am tempted to think that probably the CBK, it was a roadside declaration by the president, and when he went when he went back and sat, he was like, kumbe, we have some international obligations of these things we've signed to do with fighting terrorism and the issue of money laundering. You know, there are some things that have been signed at a global stage and commitments being made about that cap of $10,000. So he probably went back and said, yeah, I've done this, and now CBK is wondering what to do. But I mean, this is just a call to action that do what you said you'll do. Yeah.
No, I think actually, okay, yeah, that's there. But I would also tell him, please give more thoughts to before making declarations. Because we've had a number of those declarations.
There was a time you were an advisor at State House.
I'm always, as a citizen of this
Then
country.
You were fired. That's why you're speaking the way you're speaking. Anyway.